Thank you. So hopefully I won't have too much feedback. Okay. No, that's fine. Okay, that's it. If everybody can hang tight with us, we're trying to figure out some technical issues here.
Good though.
Okay, everybody. So thank you for your patience with that. Like I said, we're just working out some tech issues here. So if people on the Zoom call could do me a favor and put in the chat just to confirm that you can hear me. Okay. So hopefully you can. Perfect. Thank you very much. Okay. So welcome everybody to this, I would like to say warm day, but I guess it's warmish for fall. So hope you're all having a great Saturday morning and welcome to the October session for PAC. And just a reminder that this session is being recorded and we will send that out to everyone later this week or this coming week. Okay, so first up are updates from the executive board. So for my update, just wanted to thank everyone again for all of their efforts in the PAC and all of the parents that have been involved in all of the different events and programs that we have going on. I really do appreciate that. We will have updates from all of the committee members coming up. And so I just also wanted to remind everyone that if you have any ideas for the PAC, for different programming that you think might be a great fit for us, please feel free to send it over to info@imsapac.org. And we have also been trying out some different ways to raise additional funds. We are completely grateful to the IMSA Fund for providing the majority of our funding. But as we've seen in the past few years, the costs of different things, including bus transportation and even our senior banquet costs and even our event programming has increased. So that's why we are trying some of these different ways to raise additional funds, because besides being able to help fund some of these programs, some of the excess costs that come about, we also do want to continue to help out any families who fit into the tier 1 and tier 2 fee structure to help offset some of the costs to be able to participate in some of these programs. So we are open to other ideas that people may have. So again, send it over to info@imsapac.org. Next, I'd like to introduce Stephanie Roy. She is the area coordinator here, and she'll be introducing herself and giving us some updates on behalf of student affairs.
Hello, everyone. I'm Stephanie Roy. I'm one of the area coordinators. Previously in RP for a few years, so it's a big place in my heart. I just want to provide some updates. So as far as hiring. We are fully staffed with all monitors.
So they can't hear you.
Oh, they can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Hello?
Keep trying to talk.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's better?
It's muffled.
Muffled.
Can you hear me now?
Is that any better? No.
No? You can't hear me?
Okay, let's see what we can try to do here.
Hello, can you hear me?
That's kind of okay. If that's this.
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Perfect, okay. I'll try to speak a little louder. I don't have a very loud projecting voice. Okay, so my name is Stephanie Roy. I'm one of the area coordinators for President's Life, and I was previously an RC for 1506. And 1506 holds a very dear place in my heart. I still love my students. So I have some updates. So for hiring, we are fully staffed for day hall monitors. It's really exciting. So Monday through Friday, they are working the halls from 7:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Making sure that they're doing frequent rounds of the building, and that any students need any type of support or have any questions, there's always an adult to assist them during the academic day. As far as RCs, we are staffed at 25 RCs, which is really exciting because we're getting close to being fully staffed at 28. And we're actually in the process of interviewing RCs. So that's super exciting. And then we have a school counselor starting on Monday. So they'll be starting their training week, but we'll be fully staffed with counselors. And then we recently hired a nurse, and they will be starting on November 1st. So we're all excited in Residence Life as far as being almost fully staffed for our team. And then the next update is Wing Wars, and that is led by the residential student leaders, along with Tyler Foster, who's one of the area coordinators that oversees the RSL program. So Wing Wars is a friendly competition within the halls, and the wings compete with one another. And they typically do like events like Iron Chef, where each student will cook like a dish. They'll do a talent show. Maybe they'll make murals. It's just depending on the hall, what their interests are, and they'll compete in a variety of events throughout the week. So for Wing Wars, they'll either be doing it the last week of October or the first week of November. It was just dependent on the hall, because I know that there's a lot going on with college apps and testing and all that kind of stuff. So the hall got to vote as far as what week they would like to do Wing Wars. So that's very exciting. So you'll be seeing pictures and like posts from the RCs with the events and students who had a lot of fun time with that. Let's see. Oh, homecoming. Homecoming was very successful. We had over 500 students attend homecoming, which is like the biggest number I've ever seen since my time here at IMSA. And I personally preferred it in the gym because it had more of like a homecoming type of aesthetic. So it was really nice. Chloe Cato, who's our new student activities coordinator, helped lead the homecoming event. And it was nice because with 500 students, we were able to fundraise a lot of money for the student clubs. So yeah, that's going to take us a long way. And then also too, Chloe is in the process of coordinating events for Halloween. So there's going to be like trick-or-treating, some type of like haunted house, coordinate. So there are going to be fun activities coming up for all the students. Oh, and just some friendly reminders. If you can remind your students that if they need to sign out before the RC office is open, to sign out the night before with the RC. So if they're leaving at 8 or 9 a.m. and the RC office is not open on the weekends, that's fine. We just ask if they sign out the night before because technically security should not be signing out students. So we should make sure that every student is accounted for and that they're signing out appropriately because that is part of the Red Light expectation. Yeah, that is it for now for updates. If you have have any questions, please let me know and I'll be more than happy to answer. Yes.
There doesn't seem to be any except one post on stage and like 3 pictures on at the dance. And I know that there was a certain organization that was taking pictures.
Yes.
How do we get them?
Okay, I can reach out to ISP, which is IMSA Student Productions, and they're a student-led program that takes pictures and videos. So I will reach out to Bill McGrail, who oversees ITNEC, and let them know, like, hey, where are the pictures? Because I don't get pictures too.
Well, and then look on
Facebook, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I do know for ISP, their advisor is no longer working here. So they're just kind of like in a weird transition stage, and I know that Bill in the past has not seen ISP, but they're in the process of actually hiring someone to also work with Bill, and also one of the responsibilities is the ISP. Yes.
From my understanding, allow the pictures to the students, not the parents.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, we can ask for some pictures, so we can share. There's no harm in that. Yeah. 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 So let me make it.
Would you please repeat the question for us all on the online people? And also the microphone is terrible. We are hardly able to hear what the speaker is saying.
Thank you for that input, and we will work on that audio issue. So basically, the question was about pictures being shared through that were taken by ISP. So Stephanie is going to ask them about that, being able to get some pictures from homecoming.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any questions for Stephanie? She will be here for a little bit longer. So even if you don't have any questions right now, feel free to put them in the chat or unmute yourself and let us know if you have any questions. There was just
from time to time. Even with my job, like office, I still have to find ways to, interact with the students. So one of the things I do is I do a program called Spark, which is a mental health initiative that I do with Raphael. My daughter is on our course. It's really exciting because like I still need to be heavily involved with the students to like feel that like more. So yeah. Oh. Yeah. Well, let them know that they can always visit me in the office, like any students, like I'm more than happy to support them in any way I can, because I know it's tough being here. There's the rigorous academic, feeling overwhelmed, and being away home from family. I can find my own more than happy to take them. Thank you so much.
So for those who can't hear, Stephanie is getting a bunch of accolades from parents of 1506 students, whose students missed being over there, but everybody's happy about her promotion to area coordinator. So thank you, Stephanie. Okay, so like I had mentioned, if you have any questions for Stephanie, feel free to put them in the chat or to unmute yourself and ask. I think she'll be here for at least for a little bit longer. So thank you, Stephanie, for those updates. And next, we have updates from the treasurer. So Jen, are you on the call?
I am. Good morning. If you could go to the next slide, that'd be great. Okay, we started off in the beginning of September in our checking account with $16,621.98. Our expenses for the month of September were $1,710.71. Our total income was $33,574.95, and that significant jump was mostly due to bus registrations. The balance at the end of the month was $48,486.22. And that gives us our assets in our checking account and our reserves of $23,003.49 to total $71,489.71. If you'll go to the next screen for me. So we did approve a bus policy again this year. The bus policy was a 75% discount for tier 1 families, 50% for tier 2 families. Our annual registrations are non-refundable with a few exceptions. If the student withdraws from IMSA or they leave, take a medical leave of absence, or with extreme circumstances that are approved by the board. Single rides for the bus, there's a 33% increase to those rates. Those seats are based on availability. The transportation committee cannot provide meals for those because it's just too difficult to coordinate with the cafeteria on a single ride basis. And unfortunately, there's no tier discounts on single rides as those funds have been depleted by annual pass riders. That is all I have for the treasurer update. I just wanted to make a note that our next meeting is November 12th, which happens to be daylight savings time. And in the past, our PAC calendar does not recognize the daylight savings time event until it occurs. So any events after daylight savings time will not be adjusted until it actually occurs. So your calendars that you sync or the calendar on the website might be an hour off. We'll see how that plays out this year, but I just wanted to put that out there just in case that the adjustment doesn't happen right away. So November 12th is daylight savings time. Just keep an eye on that calendar. If the times are off by an hour, just to count it to that event not occurring yet. And that's all I have.
Thank you for those updates, Jen. And also, this is a good time for us to just bring up, if you do find anything on the website that you have feedback on or have any issues on, please email techhelp@imsapac.org and they can look into what those issues are or how to resolve them. Next, we have updates for the junior parent representative, and Maitri is unable to join us today, so I will give her updates for her. So the follow-up for, follow-ups and request questions from the last meeting that they held. Titan crew, significant differences from last year. Attendance is mandatory and counted versus last year. Continuity of Titan crew will be maintained, same crew to be allocated in next year throughout IMSA's life cycle. And can study groups be created for students for PSAT, SAT, ACT prep? The answer to that are no official groups are formed, but students make their own study groups. Okay. So some follow-ups and requests or questions from the first meeting. So they're working on guest speaker, potentially a senior parent who joins in to share last year's best practices based on their experiences, either live or offline. And also the next upcoming meeting for junior parents is on October 24th at 8:30 p.m. And you can find the details on the website at imsapac.org. You can either find it on the calendar or if you click on the junior parents tab, you'll find it on there. Also, the parent workshop, the after college workshop, is going to be held virtually today from 3 to 6 p.m. Some of the topics that the workshop will cover are how do we choose a degree today, why the results are so poor, and I'll let you read the rest of that information. And if parents are interested in having us host this again, please let us know for the different dates. So this is the calendar of the different meeting dates for the junior parents. So as we mentioned, the next one is October 24th. Okay, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Maitri. You can either scan that QR code to take you directly to the junior parents page on the website, or you can email her at juniorrep@imsapac.org. Okay, and then also she has on here the college planning timeline. You'll see a copy of this slide deck along with the recording coming out next week. So this is just some information on different touch points that you should be looking at with your student as they plan for college next year. Okay. Okay, and next we have updates from the committees. First, we have academic committee. And I'm not sure who on the call is going to give updates.
Maria, DKC here.
Perfect. Hi, DK.
Hey, do you have a slide?
Yes.
Okay, this is October 17th. I think I didn't change. Thank you, hello, everyone. This is D. Cayley, Academic Committee Co-Chair. We met with the Dr. Akwarj Anderson October 6th. And this meeting, we mainly talked about the AP exam since the sophomore parents has a bunch of questions about the AP exam. And I think one of the most important question whether take or not, or IMSA actually support the AP exam. But actually, I think I know that Dr. Akwarj Anderson is here, and I provided the question. Actually, I summarized the question from last year webinar, and then Dr. Akwarj Anderson will address those questions. And also, I strongly encourage the parents, you need to watch the webinar recorded from the last year. I think that our webinars provide great information about the AP, all about the AP exam. And also this during, I think last week, I met with the Amy Keck, who's the learning coordinator, and she introduced about the Canvas, the academic support hub. I think you go to next slide, please. Yeah, I think if you may not familiar with the Canvas. The Canvas is a learning management system. Students through the Canvas, the students taking all the course IMSA offered, and also this Canvas, the web page is actually learning management system provide academic support hub. This is through this hub, student can find all the academic support information, peer tutor, writing center, and also they provide the schedule for the sophomore only session is office hour, usually happening I-Day. And also I was very impressed about the study tip for the IMSA success, and using the calendar or app for scheduling, and just all the task and assignment. I think one of the biggest challenge for the student away from home, I think, is scheduling and prioritizing their task, and the balance between academic life and health and social life. I think this tool might help a lot. But important thing is the parents not able to access this Canvas academic support hub. The reason I'm introducing this one, I talked to the Amy, but just if your student is struggling or need the help, and encourage them to use this academic support hub in Canvas, I think, and you can see all the information available in Canvas academic support hub through the IMSA, the PAC, the web page, or the IMSA.edu academic support web page. This web page mirrors all the information in Canvas academic support hub, but you don't see any detail, but your student will see all the detailed information. I'll show you some example. Next slide, please. This is one example, and each residential hall peer tutor information is available. And through the Canvas, your student can connect with all the peer tutor in each residential hall. The name of the tutor is available, their subject matter and times are available, and you can email them, or through the Canvas arrange your student can arrange the tutoring time. Also, I think this is great resource. I think it strongly encourage your student to use this academic support hub. And also next slide, please. And one of the most important things, and we talked about the Dr. Grazer too, is I-Days, I think, is very important. Sometimes students just knows I-Day is not, just a holiday. No, it's not really holiday for the, especially the sophomore. Junior, senior, they go to SIL, but for the sophomore student, I think this is important. They can use it to improve your academic, something you are not on in the schedule or behind. I think there's a lot of subject matter office hours available. Even Dr. Grazer is actually helping students for all math related question too, actually. But all the information is available, but as a parent, we don't need to micromanage the student. We just talk to our children, I heard that this kind of information is available, you can use it. I think that's the way we like to support our student and our kid. And also, just if you haven't talked about the I-Day, you maybe want to talk about, what are you doing on I-Day? I think I-Day is very important for the sophomore students, especially they can utilize the time to catch up to some homework and in some subject matter behind. Next slide, please. I think that's all I have. I know the sophomore parents was, after sophomore parents meeting, asked us about the AP related exam, AP related question about the, and then I think it's just, if you have any question related to academic, just email us or contact your class representative, and we'll address the next PAC meeting. I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, DK, there's a question. I'm going to try a different method to see if we guys can hear.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
Okay.
Thank you, DK.
Okay. I have a question. I
Mhm.
recently visited URC, and one of the things they mentioned is that they reach out, the freshmen, they reach out to them when they see their grade drop to a certain level. They do that initial reaching out to the student. I know they're supposed to, but not many of the students will take that initiative in the beginning to reach out to the teacher or to their peer. Or even when us as a parent tell them if it's low-grade children, they might not hear us. But I thought that was a good idea that they have I don't know if it's a department or group that they reach out to the freshmen to schedule that first initial appointment. Is that something that IMSA can think about doing?
Definitely. Or and Dr. Akwarj Anderson here, can you address this question, answer the question?
Okay, can you repeat the question? I'm having a hard time hearing.
Okay.
Maria, could you repeat the question, please?
Okay. The question is that for the sophomore or junior or freshman or senior, when their grade drop a certain level, can someone do that initial reaching out to the student and schedule something with them, come and see them versus waiting for them to go to the professor or peer tutor or us parents, we do tell them, but it would be great if that initial reaching out to and schedule something, so you need to come and talk to them, and have that first appointment with the student.
Okay.
Well,
So,
yeah.
okay.
Okay, go ahead, Maria.
I said, did you want to answer Stephanie?
Yeah.
Stephanie said she can answer it as well.
Go ahead, Stephanie.
Okay.
Okay, so I help oversee the peer tutoring program, and I also work very closely with PAC. So one of the things I do weekly is I check all of the students' grades. So the student is falling below like a C-, or kind of not turning their assignment, I am reaching out to that RC directly and letting them know, hey, what's going on? Why are they not turning the assignments? Why are they not doing a grade on a certain assessment? Can you require more as far as what is going on and what support that student needs? And then come back to me and let me know, okay, so they said they're going to do X, Y, and Z, but I also want you to make sure that you're continuing to following through with them, that I will hold them accountable. A lot of the time, our students will tell us, it's fine, I have a game plan, I'm going to get on top of it. To me, that's not good enough because, they're students at the end of the day. And a lot of them have a hard time advocating for themselves with their teachers. But I've told RCs, I'm like, sit with them in the office, help them draft an email so they can reach out to their teachers. And if we continue to notice a pattern, which I have right now, so all of the week, I sent about 20 emails to RCs about, okay, the students said they're going to do X, Y, and Z. I haven't really seen any improvement. I'm going to need you to start reaching out to the families. So that way, none of you are blindsided, and that way hey, we have noticed students have not been studying, they're not utilizing all their supports. Can you also help us talk to that student? Because I understand that not all parents have always access to Canvas, or we sometimes get a million emails and we miss an interim comment from a teacher. So yes, I told RCs, please start reaching out to families, or even letting them know hey, they are utilizing their supports, but they're still struggling. So then I have to decide deeper into okay, what can we do for that student? And I've also talked to the faculty also that is our game plan as well. And I have a really good working relationship with the PAC. So we also said we'll be reaching out to the PAC. So we are making efforts, and you might be seeing some emails from RCs about hey, this is what's going on. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that they're successful with their academics. So we recognize that our students don't always have the best advocacy skills and are sometimes hesitant to reach out to the teacher because they always make assumptions like the teacher doesn't like me. I'm kind of nervous. No, that's not true. Just go ask for help.
Yeah.
So, but yes, if you ever have concerns in regards to academics, please reach out to the RC. And if you notice that, you know, they're not responding back to you, you're always more than welcome to reach out to me and help support your student. Yes.
Oh, Stephanie, sorry, so I'm gonna have you come closer for some reason they're not able to hear you as
And I
well.
wonder if you need to have the microphone closer to your mouth. Yeah.
Okay. Is that any better?
What I can do is kind of send a recap of things that I hit on.
Okay,
so
they
that
said
way-
it's better,
That's
it's better, okay.
But if you like, I can send kind of like a summary, so that way I know they'll be in and out, so that way nobody misses any information, and if you have any questions, you can always email me, and I'm happy to do that. Yes.
Other classes, what we see and how our students are struggling and moving and learning.
Could you recap her question for those on the call?
Okay. You asked about moving and learning. Is it because the students are not doing well in moving and learning? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's very hard to hear.
Moving and learning.
Okay, they'll recap the question for you.
Okay. So moving and learning class, to be honest, that has not been the class that's been a topic of concern. The pattern that I have noticed is actually the MI and BC1 courses. So we're actually going to be hosting a study session next week, next Thursday. So hopefully students will show up. We did actually host a study session in September, but unfortunately only 4 students showed up. So we just have to keep pushing. But yes, moving and learning, I have heard students say like, it's such a hard class because it's not a typical physical education class. And a lot of times I hear from students that they don't actually do the full reading or prepare, because when London or Myers tells them like, okay, you got to do your assessment, they only have like certain pieces of the content. They don't have the full thing. So they actually have to put work into that class. But for this semester, it hasn't really been quite as a topic that's come up a lot lately. But I can look more into that because it just hasn't been brought up into my radar as much.
So know how hard work.
Yes.
Kind of like, oh, now we need to get to know all of the areas of the art. Right?
Yes.
Never, there's nothing on Canvas. Nothing, a piece of paper for every student that says, this is what you need to know.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So they're missing some information to be good.
Not and now you need to know about it.
Okay. Well, that's good to know because I did not know that. So that's something that we can look into. Yeah.
Sorry, we missed. Can you
Sure.
recap the discussion, please?
So to recap, a parent had asked about moving and learning. There was a sheet regarding the heart that was given out to a group of students. And then they were expected to know more details the following week, which were included in the sheet. Is that correct? Okay. So Stephanie is going to look into that.
Yeah. So can I make a comment about that?
Of
So
course.
we get a lot of, you all know this. I get a lot of questions about moving and learning. One thing that I like for you all to encourage your students to do is to make sure that they do what they're asked to do. Make sure they take it seriously. Students come to that class with the assumption that is just a PE class, like they had in their old school. That is not the case. I've talked about this in the past. I've explained it in the past. I will have last time I literally had a whole session, part of my presentation, I focus on that only. So we need to make sure that we're helping students to change their attitudes. towards the class. I personally go to that class, sit in the class, the entire class, when I get concerns so that I can respond to them. So I would really appreciate it if you all can talk to students. It's not just a PE class, it's different. And they need to take their assignments seriously. Now, if there are issues related to something that, you know, the teacher has done that impacts students, of course, I'll look into that. But I need to make sure that we take care of the attitude issue that we're having from students towards that class. Because students will say to me, well, it's just a PE class, I should have an A. Well, you need to do what you're supposed to do to earn the A. So we'll continue to look into that. Thank you, Stephanie. We'll continue to work on that together, but we need your help also. Please, please emphasize this to the students. Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions in regards to academics, academic committee, or any other academic questions or concerns at this time? Nope. Okay, so you can, as with all the others, if you do find that you have a question as we go through this session, feel free to put it in the chat or unmute yourself and ask the question. Dr. Akwaji Anderson will be here a little bit longer, as is Stephanie. So if you have any questions for them, feel free to ask. There was a question in the chat, so Dr. Akwaji Anderson, you may have answered, or Stephanie. A parent had asked about, is their child able to do club sports?
If their child is
Just
able
in
to,
general, are they able to, I believe, like leave campus to do club sports? Participate. Okay. So the answer is yes, you're able to. They just have to go through the regular checkout process.
correct.
If they are a sophomore and then.
Okay. So if it's a sophomore and they have to miss study hours, they just have to make arrangements to make up that time with their RC for the study hours. But also they would have to have their own mode of transportation. All of that still applies.
Correct.
Maria, is it Dr. Akwaji Anderson has time to address the question from the sophomore parents about the AP?
I'll do that during my remarks. Is that
Okay.
okay? Or do
Yep.
you want me to do it now, Maria?
You can do it during your remarks. That's totally fine.
Okay,
Thank you, Dr. Akwaji Anderson. I think you did good.
no problem.
Next, we have Friday Fest Committee, and we have Carrie right here.
Good morning, everyone. We had our first Friday Fest. Oh, it looks like these are the wrong slides.
Oh, no, okay.
Okay, let's see. So basically, yep, these are the wrong. Okay, here are some pictures. So we had our first Friday Fest in September, and it was a huge success. And we wanted to thank all the IMSA families again. Some donated food, some donated money, and others donated their time. We appreciate all of you, and we have a couple pictures to show you what it looked like. These were taken before the kids came through the line, just so you can see the variety of food and the number of volunteers we had. All right, and then we just wanted to let you know that our next Friday Fest is scheduled for Friday, November 4th, and information about that will be coming out soon. Thank you.
Thank you. And the students loved all the food. Next, we have Hospitality Committee. Okay, so. Hey, I forgot to- So we are looking for a co-chair, so please, if you are interested, email me at hospitality@imsa.org. And we have 2 volunteers so far, but we are still looking for a co-chair, so please let me know. What we do, so what we do is basically, get some food, and then the slides are wrong. I have slides with me.
Okay, must not have been updated.
Okay. So we do have something on April
I need
22nd.
you to talk louder too.
Louder. Sorry. So we do have, on April 22nd, there is a junior day that's for the junior parents. We are not here, so that's why I would need help on that day with the food. We do have lunch that day, so we will have to order and get food. And then for the parents, for the teacher appreciation week, also we would need some volunteers. So do let me know, and then we can plan something. So I set up some meetings for those, so we all can coordinate and get that out. Okay? Any questions, anybody? Thank you, Nisha. So if you are able to help out Nisha, she is looking for a co-chair. Please email hospitality@imsapac.org. Thank you. Next, student life.
Everybody.
No, this one.
Hi, everybody. I'll try to talk loud so you can hear me. This is Susan from Student Life. There's Maria, Melissa, and I. So the Wing Parent Program is in full swing. Thank you to all the Wing Parents that have done events during September. We have 93 Wing Parents so far for the school year, covering each one of the 28 wings. We're currently, okay.
Okay. If you could just talk really loud.
Okay. I'm gonna yell right at Maria now.
Is this any better, everybody? Is this any better? Hopefully. Okay.
Hello?
All right, good.
Okay, so we have 93 wing parents for the school year, covering each one of the 28 wings. We are currently planning fall wing events like cookie decorating, costumes parties, carving, painting pumpkins, team building events, and more. Unfortunately, because IMSA is in the yellow status, we cannot do events in person at this time. So any events in the next week or so, we're going to do as a drop off, and the kids and the RCs will have to put them on. If IMSA drops back into the green status, we'll be able to do events in person and in the wings again. So we're hoping that things go in the right direction. These are some of the great September wing events we had. We had wing parents that celebrated homecoming. We have these entirely adorable cups with the students' names on them filled with goodies. We have gift bags. Some of the wing parents made little stations, like a relaxation or welcome station with snacks and a place to relax for the students. So September's been great so far, and we're really looking forward to October events now. If anyone wants to reach out to us at Student Life, you can email studentlife@imsapac.org, and we'll get back to you right away. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks everyone for your patience out there. Because yes, we're trying to still figure out the balance between here and on the Zoom call. So again, if you have any questions for Student Life or want to get involved, email studentlife@imsapac.org. Next, we have Multicultural Committee. And we have Marguerite here to give us updates. Thank you, everyone. Sorry about that. I accidentally dropped off. Okay, we are back in business now, I think. So let's do this real quick. Here we go. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'm a co-chair for the multicultural event. So my other co-partner is Marlene Luke. This year, we have two cultural shows going on for 2022, 2023. We have one coming up next month, November 11 and 12. It's a combination of the Indian and Black Student Union Culture Show. And next year in February, we have the Asian and Latino Student Union Cultural Show. We do need volunteer to, because this is going to be the first time that IMSA invited the parents to help them assist with the cultural show. So we're going to have some food available. Yeah, we're going to have some activities. We are meeting with Rodrigo, who's worked in the inclusion department. So we have to meet with him and ask him what need does this event need from the parents, so we could provide that information. So we have not met yet with him, but we are scheduling an appointment so we could talk about it. And once we talk with Rodrigo, then we're going to send out an email what type of volunteer that we need for it, because we're going to have in person for the parent as well as for the student. Hopefully, we're going to go green so we could come in person instead of doing virtual. So let's just stay tuned. If we get more information, we will provide it to you all. Thank you.
So. Sorry, give me 1 second, everybody. There we go. Okay, next we have from Student Council. Is it Matri that's joining us today?
Hi, it's Matri.
Great.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Matri. I'm a PAC liaison from Studco, and I'm a junior this year. So I'm just going to run through some quick project updates. Currently, we're working on a universal trip form to help streamline access to available trips by the RCs. If you don't know, IMSA provides like after-school trips to Target and Woodman's and other places. So this is just to make sure everything's as efficient as possible. Then we also have our big sibling event coming up. We're working on something for Halloween, something like fall themed. We're trying to sponsor like events off campus, hopefully to like a corn maze or a haunted house or something, just so people can like have fun for Halloween. We're also working on trying to get cars on campus. We're working with Ms. Berger and Ms. Gannett to discuss like the feasibility of it, whether it's something students want, whether it's something parents are comfortable with. And yeah, that's a current project. And then another big focus of ours currently is mental health. We're working on a mental health guide to make sure that everyone has all the information they need to take a mental health day, take a stress mod, and use all of their various resources. I just wanted to put a little bit of emphasis on this because the current process for taking a mental health day does involve parents. Parents are required to fill out a form if their students asked to take a mental health day the day prior to the mental health day. If anyone has any questions, I can go over this a little bit later. Can you go to the next slide, please? Okay, so other updates. We have elected our 3 sophomore at larges. They're the representatives from the sophomore class, and they will hopefully be full-fledged Studco members by next Wednesday. We've also been meeting with various administrators and staff members, including Dr. Huiji Anderson, Dr. White, Ms. Berger, Mr. Cornsey, and Ms. Ryan, and of course, Lexington. We've been talking about Titan Crew and mastery-based learning. To go on with our discussion about the APs a little bit ago, Studco has made an AP guide and it is on our Facebook page. So if your students are asking about AP classes, they can refer back to that. It includes like the average scores, what IMSA classes correlate with what AP exams, and just various resources. We've talked with Ms. Berger about student behavior and, like I said, cars on campus and other projects. We're trying to get new furniture, new monitors, classroom renovations. We've been trying to get like whiteboards and other like study spaces so students can like work together and study. And we've also been working on getting laundry machines. They have been ordered and we're just hoping that they get put in soon. And then another major concern that's been coming up is cross-contamination of vegetarian food and with meat, and also undercooked food. So we've been working with Lexington and their team to make sure that all of these issues are resolved as quickly as possible and making sure that the food that we eat is safe. Also for our clubs, we're working on club check-ins just to make sure that all the clubs are doing what they're supposed to do. And we're trying to transition to a new website called Presence to make sure that all the information is streamlined, all the events are there, all the information that's needed is in one centralized location. And as mentioned at the start of this meeting, Homecoming was a huge success. We sold over 500 tickets, and Homecoming is a fundraiser for Student Council so that we can provide our clubs with money. So this is a really good thing. And now our clubs have a lot of money to hold great events. And I believe those were all my updates.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So next we have updates from Dr. Comfort Clarty Anderson.
All right. Thank you, Maria. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So yes, I have quite a few reminders. So I'll start out with inner session. So thanks to the parents who turn in proposals. We actually, this week has been exciting for my team and our office because we, Mr. Gizak sent out a lot of emails to students about, the financial support we're providing for the students who are traveling abroad. So it's a pretty exciting time. I also wanted to mention that the CAC office, you all know that we've had some transitions in the CAC office. We now have Manny as our lead in that office. And so he'll be the point person. And, I know you always have lots and lots of questions related to the CACs. So I will continue to work with Mr. Gazak, and we'll work with Manny, Mr. Donaldson, to make sure that we provide information that you need. The CACs provide whatever, webinars and things like that that you need. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that to you. I also have some information from our IMSA IRC, or this specifically the library. So one of the things that I wondered about, and I got this information, of course, from our library or IRC coordinator, Miss Angela Richardson, is it made me wonder, did you know that your student has access to libraries that belong to the CALI, and CALI stands for Consortium of Academic and Research Libraries in Illinois? As the only high school member of the consortium, our students at IMSA are able to borrow items from most of the libraries. So if they are at home for the weekend, for example, and they need to visit a library, your public library may not be able to have that option, but students must have their IMSA ID to check out materials. So the list of member libraries, I'm going to put a link in the chat that has a list of those libraries. So we want to make sure that our students have all the resources that they need and have access to those. So let me post that on chat for you. Here we go. Let's see. Okay. Let me know if you all are able to see the link, or click on the link and, let me know if you can access that. So that's a good one. So if at all possible, check in with your IMSA library before you visit, as some institutions may still have COVID guidelines and other information that you may need to know before you go to the library. We can also, return books that were borrowed back to the lending institution. So if you borrow books and you're not able to ship them back yourself, bring them to the IRC and they'll help you, your student, to help them to ship those books back. I also want to reiterate a few things. First of all, I want to thank our student Mitreri for all of the information that she provided. She talked about APs and the AP guide. You all need to access that. I will answer some questions that I'm pretty sure they have in that guide. But then I also want to thank her for mentioning mental health and the process. A lot of our students, of course, they have a right to do so, to take a mental health day, but we have a process in place, and that involves you parents to help them do that. One of the things that teachers have been expressing concern and some frustration about is the timing of when students take those mental health days. So a lot of times the pattern has been, if a student has an assignment due or they have a test due, they decide to take that mental health day at that time. So we're working to make sure that, you know, we want to make sure that our students, we support our students and for them to really work on maintaining good mental health. But we also want to make sure that they're doing their work. And so it's one of those things that is creating a lot of tension these days. So we'll continue to work with you all, work with the students to make sure that they're able to do that. On a related note, I attended a webinar. I'm going to put the link so that you all can, let me see, can have access to that. Although the webinar already happened, they have the video. Okay, here we go. I just posted it. They have a video from this session that we could access. So it's Challenge Success. You all know we've been working with Challenge Success for years. We have them, we have surveys that we actually have students complete from Challenge Success. And so this time they were talking about a healthier approach to college admissions. It happened on Thursday, October 13th. Like I said, I attended that and they promised to send the recording so that it can be shared, and I'll make sure I share that with you all. But basically, if you look at the link that I sent to you, it talks about, you know, some of the ideas that we have about what colleges we want students to go to, what the colleges are looking for, and things like that. It was a really, really good webinar. And so I think that'll be super, super helpful for you all to have access to it. The other resource that I want to share with you all is coming up soon. Again, I'm going to post this in the chat. Is focusing on mental health. Let's see. Let me make sure that I post that here before I continue to speak about it. So let's see. It looks like the link did not come through. Let me grab the link for you. Give me 1 second, please. Let me post the link. Voila. Okay, so I have the link posted in there. It's about your mental health. It's coming up on Thursday, November 10th at 4 p.m. So please look into that. You know, I'm sure that you could participate, our students can participate, but it's super, super important because again, we want to continue to support our students and support their success. Now, I'm going to share some of the questions that were sent, that TK sent to me. I am going to share my screen so that you can see. And again, I'm pretty sure that if you look at that guide that Mitreri talked about earlier, I'm positive that it's going to answer some of these questions. Oh, it says that.
Hold on, we'll give you access. Hold on real quick.
Oh, okay, perfect. That would be great. And those were some good questions. And TK, thank you for you know, watching that webinar. I encourage you parents, especially the sophomore parents. I know this is you're new to some of this, but every parent, please watch that webinar because it has a lot of information in there. Can I try now, Maria?
Go ahead, Dr. Apache Anderson.
Okay. Oh, all right. Here we go. Thank you so much for doing that. Can everyone see my screen here?
Yes.
Okay, good. So the first question that you all asked was, do colleges and universities consider AP exam results for admission purposes? If not, why are students encouraged to take AP exams? So let's see. So some colleges actually give students credit for good AP scores, and it's up to them. We don't make the decision for them. It's up to them, you know, whether or not they consider those, or that's part of their admission process. But when your student applies to colleges, of course, you know, they can get all of that information. IMSA courses aligned with the AP exam curriculum. Why does IMSA not offer AP courses and not help our students preparing AP exams? The AB and BC Calc and calculus-based physics courses are based on the AP courses curriculum. Again, check out Matreri's guide, the guide that they put together, because that would really truly answer a lot of your questions. Will the colleges applying to accept my AP results? Some schools accept AP exam scores for college credit. And again, it's up to the schools. Which exams and when should I take? That's that's a personal decision. It's not something that we decide for you or for your student. Does IMSA facilitate all AP exams? Not all AP exams are offered at IMSA. What is the cost of AP exams? Most for the 2023 AP exams cost $97. And then the final question was, how many IMSA students graduate with AP exams results each year? Again, I'm going to send you to Matreri's the guiding document that they have put together. You know, and we can answer some additional questions that you may have, but please check out those resources. That's that for the AP related courses. Are there other questions that I may be able to answer for you today? Those are the most important things that I wanted to highlight.
Are there any questions for Dr. Apache Anderson? You put them in the chat or you can unmute.
Yep. Let me check the chat. And DK put the link to the webinar, the AP exams webinar on the chat for you. So that's good. Any other questions?
There's one in the chat.
Okay. Do parents have access to? Materi, could you answer that question quick?
I just put it in the chat. It should be in there if you just scroll up a little bit.
Okay.
If you don't have access to it, please let me know and I can see if I can change the sharing restrictions.
Okay, good job. I'm going to repost it because it was a little up there in the chat. I just reposted the link. And I'm going to click on it myself. Yep, I can see it. So try it and to make sure it works. Any other questions? Well, I'm here. You know, sometimes I just, you know, turn off my camera, but I'm sitting right here. So let me know what questions you have and we'll go from there. Thank you, Maria, for the opportunity.
You're welcome. Thank you, Dr. Apache Anderson. You can see on her introduction slide here, the email address, prinoffc@imsa.edu, if you'd like to send any of those questions her way or the principal's office. We'll get that as well. So thank you. Okay, so just a few closing remarks for today. So again, if you have any questions for anybody today so far, please put them in the chat or unmute yourselves. We'll have a few more minutes here. But
As I had mentioned in the beginning of the meeting, your donations are very helpful to help with some of the programs that are being put in place and also to help offset the costs for some of our tier 1, tier 2 families for some of the programming. So we know that in this last quarter, sometimes some employers may have employer matching. So if you do work for a company that does that and you do have a donation, you can go to the IMSAPAC.org webpage and find out how to make those donations.
Maria, can I jump in quick? I so appreciate you mentioning this. Parents, and of course, we know that the donors wanted to remain anonymous. We want to thank you so much for donating to support Inner Session. A parent donated to support the students travel abroad. So we had some money and they contributed to that. So we want to thank you for doing that. So I just wanted to add to what you said, Maria.
Thank you very much. And thanks to that, the generous parents that did that. So thank you very much. And as was mentioned, there are definitely ways for parents to get involved. And that's the one thing here with the PAC that we are trying to do more of is make sure that all parents, no matter how near or far you live or your time capacity, different ways for you to be able to still support the students that are here and the families. And another one is Amazon. So show of hands, how many of us shop at Amazon? I'll say like majority of the hands are up in this room and I'm sure on the call as well and beyond. So this is an easy way to help donate a little bit to the PAC. There's a link here and also on the website. We'll get 0.5% of the eligible purchases donated back to the PAC, which may not seem like a lot, but you know, every little bit helps. So it doesn't cost additional to you. It's just that Amazon donates a portion of it back to the organization. Not that we're trying to encourage anybody to shop a lot at Amazon, but if you're doing it anyway, and we know with the holidays coming up and even with your students, if they're shopping, feel free to share that link with them. So upcoming PAC session dates, as was mentioned. Oh, do you have a question? Sure.
I don't know who this board is, but it's
Wonderful.
so they always have a deadline.
So Marguerite just brought up a great tip, which is to check your company's website for the companies that you work for, because some of them have money that they want to donate to nonprofit charities. So with PAC being one of them, you could definitely look into that, because Marguerite was talking about like sometimes they have scholarship opportunities or opportunities to provide to programs. So she did ask that we share how to get a hold of the PAC. So if you just send it to info@imsapac.org, we'll make sure that to get it to the right appropriate people. So thank you very much, Marguerite. And that's a good reminder as well, because I did work for a company that also donated to a nonprofit organization if you volunteered with the nonprofit organization. So you just had to submit the hours that you volunteered, and then they would donate a certain amount per hour that you volunteer. So it's definitely worthwhile to look at those different opportunities. And again, we are completely grateful for any of those, because as we're looking at it also, it's not just for supporting this year's programs, but as we talked about with like the increase in prices for bus transportation and senior banquet, we don't, see that coming down, only increasing through the year. So what we want to do is to be able to leave a little portion as well as kind of seed money for the future years, so that that's something that they continue to be able to provide for the students. Okay. So, and thanks for that great tip. So we also would love it if you share those types of tips that you might have. Again, info@imsapac.org is the easiest way to get a hold of us. And if you have those available, we'd love to share it on the website or get it out there. So again, our next upcoming meeting is on Saturday, November 12th. As Jen had brought up, that is daylight savings time. So that's, what is it? Fall back. So just remember that, and I can't remember, is that fall back, and that means we're an hour earlier. So yes.
10 a.m.
Okay, 10 a.m. Well,
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Okay. So just remember, it's an hour earlier than now, than when we're sitting here. Okay, great. And then just wanted to share information on Board of Trustees meetings. The next one is on. Oh, okay. Thank you. 10 a.m. will be what was 11 a.m. So just wanted to make sure nobody's camped out here earlier. I always get confused too. So just watch for your clock, whatever time it says. So we do have an upcoming Board of Trustees meeting in November 16th. You'll just have to keep an eye on the website if you're planning to come in person, but it is also available via audio. The information is on here. Okay, also, again, if you scan this QR code, it'll take you to the website that has a lot of information on it. And then you can also reach us at info@imsapac.org. And if you have any questions in the chat or all right, well, thank you, everybody, and hope you have a great rest of the weekend, and stay safe, stay warm, and we'll see you all next month. Thank you.
Thank you.